to save it. And now 3 from Strother is good, and he's been phenomenal in the preseason. At 23 his last game, also had 16 and 20-point games.
He has a chance to be in the rotation. If he keeps, obviously you shoot 50% from 3, he can play, but he's been great.
Here's Westbrook for 3. His shooting percentage went up, and some of that was catch and shoot. That's what Ty Lue told us before the game. The regular season, unveiling the championship week from tonight at home against the Lakers, the team they beat in the conference finals. Clippers will start things against the Blazers here on Wednesday of next week as Jackson.
Sad day, but so glad that he got to see the Nuggets and Mike Malone get that championship.
Basket good there from George. And David Adelman told us, one of resting tonight, and they will play, as Roz mentioned, again in a couple days. The Clippers open at home against the Blazers a week from tomorrow as Zubac scores again in the lane. He's got 8 points early on. Here's Jordan on the cut, getting deep in the lane, and Zubac with good defense. Cleared by Leonard. Here's George in transition. And George gets the layup plus a foul on the rookie Julian Strother. His nucleus has been going into the regular season since he took over the head coaching job 4 years ago. As George connects, guys like Hunter Tyson that are on the floor right now, or Peyton Watson, who's a young guy trying to earn minutes.
George Frank, the Clippers GM, you got to see, like I said, only 10 games with these guys for the Clippers. So does this unit even work together? We don't even know. 10 games is not enough time.
3 ball goes down for Tyson. A lot of these young guys that Calvin Booth, and we're going to talk to Calvin a little bit later here at the table, a lot of the guys, as George hits and is fouled, that they brought in to try to contend for roster spots. Second year out of UCLA, grew up here in LA, Beverly Hills, went to high school in Long Beach. As it's stripped by Highland, forcing a turnover. And a 2-on-1. Man gives it up, and Highland flips it up and in.
Bases will be fully healthy, but it's been great so far to watch.
Follow dunk by Braxton Key, third-year pro out of Virginia, and just saw Nikola Jokic.
So that leadership core has different ways of doing it, but there's a lot more talking coming from them this year.
All right, Roz, here's Zubac in the lane. He's fouled. Count the basket. Injuries are a factor, but Ty Lue talked a lot about, hey, we have to take the regular season more seriously as a team if we're going to win a championship, as Jackson gets to the rim and scores. George and Leonard, it's year 5 of them together. They played 118 games in the regular season in 4 years. Now, obviously, Leonard missed an entire season as Tyson hits it.
When Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, all of a sudden, it was right around 4th of July in that area. I remember as a GM seeing that Woj bomb and thinking we're in trouble.
He thinks, I know there was an article yesterday that quoted you talking about the Bones Highland trade and Michael Porter Jr. being involved in that. Just didn't know if you
I didn't do anything good. I wanted to live vicariously for somebody else who enjoyed it.
So what do you mean? You didn't enjoy it?
I just don't do a good job of that. I see what's coming up, the draft, and I don't know what. Sorry, I don't know what to say, Dan. I'm sorry.
I think the fans want to live vicariously. I mean, you see the champagne showers in the locker room, and they assume that. Here's Westbrook in transition. 7 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists for him. Leonard finally connects.
15, 20 minutes a night, and that's why it's important.
Leonard hits a 3. George has a advantage there. Najee hangs and gets it to drop. Paul George with 23 points here in the first half. They returned 12 players and the entire coaching staff. So we mentioned at the top of the telecast, if you're just joining us, Michael Malone is not here at the game tonight as Bones Highland hits a 3, who coached 4 regular season games last year when Michael was under the weather, and has been an assistant now for 7 years with Denver. He's the acting head coach tonight as Terrence Mann connects.
But they're going to need something out of these guys. Missing the core guys that lost in free agency. They're going to need some contributions.
Bruce Brown, who was the top bench scorer last year in the league.
To kick off the whole season for ESPN. And nothing like the Garden, as you well know.
A lot of people curious about the Dallas Mavericks.
Just putting it together is a challenge.
And in the playoffs last year, Powell upped his scoring average to 22 points per game in that first round defeat.
Strong enough, certainly. And look, out of that timeout, you watch Ty Lue clapping at Bones Highland saying, run the play, do what I'm asking you to do. They're still trying to coach and teach. And
come on last year with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, going to take another step. And then you wonder about, the Lakers as Zubac gets the dunk. And a timeout called here. Can the Lakers...
maybe if you played 64, you'd have a you'd get a raw deal. But at the same time, it's something where you should have to play that many games. And I think, forget about these thresholds. I think the narrative, again, has changed. You better take it seriously. You don't want to be there in that play-in tournament at the end of the season. It's just not great to have played more playoff games. You get more fatigued. You know, what he's accomplished with 9 finals in a row. I mean, the guy's, he's one of the few people that have lived up to the hype. You know, most people, and he had the hype, Dave. That's going to be another interesting team. Their goal is to win a championship. And they've got 2 great players in him and AD, and added some pieces around. And they got high expectations, high hopes, too.
Highland with the scoop and score. Shot clock at 8. Here's Mann. One of those guys who's provided a ton off the bench or as a starter for the Clippers. Knocks down the mid-range shot. 8 points, 5 rebounds.
He's got all the tools, all the skills. I think they just need to figure out where he best fits. But from a standpoint of, does it make him better? Yeah, I mean, it's where's I was there. The high turnovers.
And that's Damian Lillard going to Milwaukee. We touched on in the first half the Drew Holiday side of that deal as the basket counts for Braxton Key, and he'll go to the line.
But what he does is, much like the team we're watching now, even though they're not playing, Jokic and Murray, that pick and roll with Giannis and Lillard is just going to be so hard to deal with. And that's what you hope if you're a Bucks.
Phoenix had a disappointing finish to the end of the season, losing to Denver, getting blown out at home in Game 6. Really similar to getting blown out by Dallas the year before at home in Game 7 as Covington knifes in and gets the layup.
They have an idea. They draw it up in the timeout. Hunter Tyson knocks the shot down.
Here's Moon. And another high-arcing shot, this time right at the rim, and he lays it up. Manage your minutes, knowing that you're going to have a long run again in 2024.
It's funny, Jokic, we've seen all the highlights. I don't know if we have any of his off songs.
With his shirt off.
He's got his shirt off. He's racing horses. I don't know what else he's doing. Honestly, we're laughing about it, but that's what it takes. You got to get away from it. I mean, he knew how to have fun. I always tell him, you're one of the best ever at enjoying what you do. And you think that's easy to do? I couldn't do it. I mean, a lot of people can't do it.
28 years old. Clippers leading by 17. Moon has played well off the bench. 10 points, 4 of 6, 2 of 3 from 3. Championships after you won them. You're saying you could with Nikola Jokic?
No, but I would have a better shot. I mean, maybe in Serbia, too. I tell you what, you got to get away from it. Jokic, what you want. Now the question is going to be, can you do it in the regular season? The confidence you get from winning a championship from a player standpoint, you just can't measure it. And I think that's what Murray's going to come back with.
For next year, both can sign those 4-year, $220 million extensions as Key drives and scores. Braxton Key, 30-year player from Virginia. On his
defensively, seems to be in the right spot here. And he's going up against the rookie there. It's the rookie against, last time he got taken to the basket, Kobe Brown, and this time he gave it right back to Key. And so maybe that's the problem.
Well, you've not been shy about, I mean, you've taken this seriously. You're asking all kinds of questions about the mechanics of broadcasting a game. Wow, how about that move by Hunter Tyson?
It's been good.
We have an idea who the obvious championship contenders are as Moon in transition gets the stop. Is there anybody